Love him or hate him, there's no real denying that Duke Blue Devils head basketball coach Mike Krzyzewski is one of the greatest and most accomplished figures in all of the sport. From taking the Duke job back in 1980 all the way up to now, Coach K has managed to stay atop an ever-changing sport despite having a last name that maybe a handful of humans can consistently spell. That's Krzyzewski, by the way. Yeah, I'm one of the handful. Not to brag. But seriously, Coach K's longevity and adaptability have allowed him to transcend eras to get to 12 Final Fours, win 5 national championships, and also win 5 Olympic gold medals. But to be fair, those Olympic teams were kinda loaded. From Leitner to Battier, from Redick to Zion, and plenty more in between, Duke has become a self-sustaining college basketball entity. They have some of the best facilities, fans, and media people, and while Coach K is leaving after this season, I doubt that Duke will see much of an immediate downturn. Shout out to Glenbrook North legend and head coach in waiting Jon Scheyer, by the way, who currently has Duke sitting atop the national 2022 recruiting class rankings. Also, another trivia point, Jon Scheyer is going to be the only head coach in college basketball to have scored 21 points in 75 seconds. With that said, it's not like it's been all sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows during the Krzyzewski era. There have been upsets.
Lehigh defeats Duke in the NCAA basketball tournament.
And a few missed tournaments.
After a positive COVID test today, Duke's tournament hopes are over.
And even some bizarre lies.
Like that.
I didn't say that.
Oh, he said of you that you're right.
Huh?
Oh, because he apparently said of you that
Well,
you were right.
You can say whatever you want. Dylan Brooks is a hell of a player. I said, you're a terrific player. And you can take whatever he said and then go with it.
But overall, Coach K is a legend, and he's got one more shot to win a national championship in 2022. So where will this iteration of Krzyzewski's Blue Devils end up? Will it end like this? Or like this? Let's take a look at this year's Duke team and see if we can find out. Through 8 games this year, the Blue Devils are currently 7-1 with great wins over Kentucky and Gonzaga, and their lone loss coming at the hands of Ohio State in Columbus, which honestly is a game they should have won, but I digress. While the offense at the moment is performing better nationally than their defense per Bart Torvik, I actually think Duke's defense is the more promising side of the ball. Behind the likes of Wendell Moore, Paolo Banchero, and Mark Williams, the Blue Devils are long, strong, and athletic. Unlike the famous idiom, idle hands are not the Devils' work when it comes to Duke basketball. They are great at disrupting plays and getting deflections, making life extremely difficult for their opponents on offense. The aggressive nature of Duke's defense is largely due to the rim-protecting presence of Williams. A long, bouncy 7-footer, Williams seems to contest pretty much every shot near the rim, as his block radius around the basket is one of the more threatening in the country. Because Duke has an anchor like Williams to lean on, this allows players like Trevor Keels, who's grabbing around 2 steals a game, to be aggressive in trying to turn the other team over. Along with Keels, Jeremy Roach, Banchero, and Moore are also grabbing more than 1 steal a game, which makes for 4 out of their 5 starters doing so. And the one starter who isn't, Mark Williams, is swatting away 3 shots a night. In terms of personnel, Duke is also extremely versatile. While you want Williams near the basket, Banchero, Keels, Moore, AJ Griffin, and Joey Baker are all switchable at the wing positions. And the thing is, this defense can get a lot better. Watching some of their more notable games, Duke at times just doesn't seem to get out of their own way defensively. They'll fall asleep on shooters, miscommunicate screen coverages, and foul unnecessarily. Here, for example, off of an inbounds play, Banchero and Roach will miscommunicate a screen. Notice how both Roach and Banchero follow Kyle Young to the left block, which leaves a wide open Ohio State shooter who knocks down the easy 3. On this play, there are 3 key mistakes. First, Joey Baker is going to get crushed by an EJ Liddell screen, Banchero is going to be late to react, and then to overcompensate and to make up for lost time, he's going to have a very undisciplined closeout, thus leading to a foul of a 3-point shooter. Here there's going to be a post touch for EJ Liddell, and Mark Williams is going to try to inexplicably double, leaving Zed Key wide open for an easy dunk. Trevor Keels also needs to be on point with that rotation as well, but again, why are we even doing this? And this one might be the most egregious mistake I've seen. Watch how Trevor Keels just totally forgets where his guy is, leading to an open 3. He goes to double EJ Liddell, meanwhile his guy is wide open on the right wing. Bottoms. The good news is that they've only played 8 games, and I'd expect that this promising, opportunistic defense will only improve as the season goes on. Offensively, Duke certainly has a lot of weapons, starting with Wendell Moore. The junior has taken the leap to become this team's offensive engine, as he leads Duke in points and assists per game. Moore has gone from averaging around 9 points a game a year ago to now getting close to 18 a game this year. and that's impressive in its own right, but what really sticks out is his gaudy assist numbers. Moore is currently dishing it out to the tune of 5.5 assists per game, and that's while also cutting down on his turnovers. While I don't think his current assist-to-turnover ratio of 3.1 will stay at that level all year, I do think it's safe to say that Moore has become Duke's own version of Jimmy Butler, a guy who is capable of initiating and creating offense in a variety of ways depending on what his team needs of him. Moore's running mate is no slouch either. Paolo Banchero, aka a likely top 3 pick in the NBA draft, aka the future of Italian basketball, aka the leader of the year of the Giant, check out that video if you want a 2022 NBA draft intro by the way, has been as good as advertised for Duke this year. The 6'10 forward is also averaging close to 18 points a game, and honestly it could be more if he wasn't limited by a cramping issue that's plagued him in some of Duke's bigger games. Not only can Banchero score, he could also rip and run, as it's common to see him grab a rebound and initiate the offense. He's only knocking down a third of his threes right now, but the ones he's making are impressive. He's not shy about pulling up in transition off the catch, and he just seems to have a confidence and fluidity regarding his outside shot. I'd like to see him get to the rim more often though, because too often he settles for this when he could be doing more of this. Behind Moore and Banchero, Duke has 2 reliable and efficient scoring forwards. From there, the offense becomes more of a mystery though. Right now, it's Trevor Keels, a freshman from Paul VI High School, who seems to be the team's tertiary scorer, but his sub 36% field goal mark leaves a lot to be desired in terms of efficiency. Still, Keels is awesome at using his linebacker-like frame to create leverage on smaller guards, and he's shown a level of poise and body control rare for somebody of his build. Mark Williams shines defensively, but on offense he's nothing more than a play finisher, albeit a very capable one, as he's got great hands, a wide catch radius, and great rebounding instincts for putbacks. Jeremy Roach, a teammate of Trevor Keels in high school, has shown promise as a perimeter playmaker, but he also needs to find a way to be more efficient scoring the ball, as he has a tendency to look overwhelmed at times. On Duke's bench are more wildcards. Perhaps the safest play of this bunch is Joey Baker. The senior, who is the last player remaining from Duke's Fab 5, provides desperately needed shooting to this team as he's knocked down around 37% of his triples for his career. AJ Griffin was a highly touted freshman, but he has yet to really get his legs underneath him as he's coming off of several injuries. Theo John, known more affectionately as Theology John by Marquette fans, is another enforcer/play finisher type who has limited offensive upside but can still play a role. There are capable players here, but again, I worry more about Duke's offense than their defense despite the advanced metrics saying otherwise. As a team, Duke is only hitting around 32.5% of his threes, and while that number will improve, I'd have to imagine, it's worth noting that there hasn't been a national champion that has shot lower than 35% from 3 since the 2013 Louisville Cardinals, and depending on where you fall on that team, I could go back even farther. I've also noticed that Duke tends to settle for dicey mid-range shots at key points in the game. Going back to the last 5 minutes of the Ohio State game, I counted 5 rushed and probably ill-advised shots, all of which were misses. Still, it's December, and there's time for the team to figure it out. When you watch this year's Duke team play, the talent almost jumps off the screen. The defensive activity, the front court athleticism, and just their overall physicality are all extremely promising. If they can get more disciplined on defense, find ways to create easier shots, and maybe knock down a few more threes, this team has a real chance to go far. But for now, we'll just have to wait and see whether Coach K's final season can also become his most memorable one. Thanks for watching, and let me know what you think below.